On the edge of the known galaxy, orbiting a nameless dead star, the research station Crux drifted in absolute silence. Its crew, once a team of 20, was now reduced to 3: Commander Nix Raylor, Communications Officer Sen Dre, and Systems Tech Vel Iro. They weren't sure what had happened to the others. Over the course of 6 weeks, crew members had begun disappearing without a trace. No alarms, no struggle, just empty rooms and silent halls. The logs remained untouched, the airlocks sealed, and the surveillance inexplicably corrupted. But what haunted Nix most was the signal. It began the same night the first crew member vanished. A low-frequency pulse buried beneath the background radiation. A pattern, almost rhythmic, like a heartbeat. Vel swore it was nothing more than an echo from the star's magnetic remnants, but Nix felt it in her bones. Sen managed to isolate the frequency and convert it to audio. What they heard wasn't static. It was a voice, fragmented and distorted, but unmistakably human. Underneath, "Don't look. It watches." Then, silence. Driven by obsession or perhaps madness, Nix traced the source to the lower decks, deep in the station's abandoned terraforming labs. She went alone, armed with only a flashlight and her sidearm. As she moved through the corridors, the lights flickered. Her footsteps echoed too loudly. Shadows seemed to twitch at the edges of her vision. Then she found it. Behind a sealed vault door marked no entry. Biohazard. Something pulsed with faint bluish light. She opened it. Inside, not a lab, but a chamber. A perfect sphere of obsidian stone embedded in the hull. It hadn't been built. It had grown there, like a tumor in the metal. Strange symbols shimmered across its surface, and as she stepped closer, she realized they were changing, mimicking her thoughts, reflecting her memories. Then the voice returned, clear this time, inside her mind. "You are seen." Back on the command deck, Vel and Sen watched in horror as every screen on Crux went black. Then the signal returned, stronger than ever. This time, it wasn't coming from space. It was coming from within the station. In the far reaches of the Andros expanse, beyond the last known star, there floated a lone station, Verge 9. It was long abandoned, its lights dark, systems cold. Officially, it didn't exist. But then the signal came. It pulsed once every 13 seconds, not in any known language or frequency, just a slow, rhythmic beat, like a mechanical heartbeat. Not strong, but persistent enough to reach the listening array on Luna Prime. Curious and reckless, as humans often are, they sent a crew of 3 aboard the vessel Argus. Captain Relo, linguist and xenoacoustic expert Dr. Maren Yao, and systems engineer Tovin Albrecht. When they arrived, Verge 9 hung like a corpse in the void. Docking was rough. The station hadn't accepted external power in over 70 years. The halls were coated in frost, the walls vibrating ever so slightly with the pulse they had traced. "It's coming from inside the walls," Yao said. In the core of the station, they found it, a black monolith embedded into the bulkhead. Smooth, matte, cold to the touch, the source of the signal. It hadn't been there when the station was decommissioned. No one had placed it. Tovin attempted to scan it. The moment his instruments made contact, the signal changed. The steady pulse fractured into fragmented syllables, like a voice learning how to speak. "It knows we're here," Yao whispered. The station lit up, lights flickering on, systems booting, air recycling. Doors that hadn't moved in decades groaned open, but no one else was there. "Captain," Yao said, her face pale. "The signal isn't transmitting outward anymore. It's listening now." That night, or what passed for night aboard Verge 9, Relo heard whispers from the comms array, even though it was shut down. Voices that sounded eerily like his own. One word kept repeating, "Stay." Yao disappeared on the 3rd day. She had left a single message on her console. "We were never meant to find this place. It didn't call us. It waited. They found her suit, helmet sealed, standing by the monolith. Empty. By the sixth day, Tovin was gone too, vanished between camera frames. Captain Relo was the last. The Argus undocked automatically at 0400 hours. It drifted back toward the core systems on a preset course, silent and empty. And somewhere deep in Verge 9, the signal began to pulse again. 13 seconds apart, just like a heartbeat. The orbiting research station Sanctum 8 had been declared dormant for nearly a decade. No crew, no logs, nothing but a derelict shape above Thalassa. A moon of endless, storm-racked sea. That is, until Dr. Elias Marek arrived, sent to survey its decaying systems and retrieve old AI cores. Marek found the station eerily intact. Lights flickered with power. Doors responded to his approach. And on the first night, his headset picked up something strange. A low, harmonic murmur pulsing faintly through the comms. A rhythmic signal, too deliberate to be noise. He began recording it, studying it, dreaming of it. Every sleep cycle, Marek wandered through visions of a corridor made of black glass, lit faintly from within by pulses of blue. At the end, a sealed door, humming in time with the signal. On the fourth day, he stopped dreaming it, because he found it. Deck 7 had been off-limits in the station schematics, dead space. But there it was, the corridor, just as he'd seen. The door opened when he touched it. Beyond it, darkness, and something within, a presence that spoke not with words, but with thoughts, shapes, concepts older than language. You heard what others silenced. Marek dropped the recorder. His breath fogged, though the air was warm. Then, silence. Weeks later, a salvage crew was dispatched after Marek missed his return window. They found Sanctum 8 running smoothly, operational, but no sign of Marek. Only a single file left in his logs, a low, harmonic murmur, faint, pulsing, endless, humming through the station static.